All right, the May 19th meeting of the Plymouth Zoning Hearing Board is now convened. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to start with the what's on the second item on the agenda, Ridge Pike Car Connection, doing business as Raceway Kia. Mr. Sander, you said you could frame a motion.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The application of Ridge Pike Car Connection, LLC, doing business as Raceway Kia, has requested through council a continuance to the June 16th meeting. It was advertised for this evening, so it would be appropriate for the board to consider a motion to open the hearing on the record and continue the hearing to June 16th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Plymouth Township Building.
Do we have a motion? Or do we just have to second?
We just have to, someone has to make that motion and then second it, yeah.
Okay, I'll second it. And then we'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Frangiosa? In favor. Okay, Mr. Higgins? In favor. Chair votes in favor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This will be continued till June 16th. If there's anybody here for that matter, it will not be heard this evening, but it will be heard June 16th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sander. The next item on the agenda is application from Scott M. Vogt. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. On an application for variance from Plymouth Township Zoning Ordinance number 342 as amended, Article 19, Section 1908.1, to construct a 12 by 24 foot shed where a 12 by 12 foot shed is the maximum size allowed. Properties at 206 Township Line Road in a AA residential district. Mr. Vogt are here, and
The applicant present, Mr. Vogt, VOCHT. Okay, why don't we skip that one, Chairman? Oh.
We came here, we're neighbors of his, just to find out what was going on. Our property is adjacent to the backyard of their property.
Okay. Before you go any further, there's issues with getting you sworn in and all that stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna bypass this because the applicant's not here and go to the second hearing, and we'll see if the applicant shows up.
Okay.
But thank you. You're welcome to stay and wait for that hearing to potentially occur.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you. The next one is then Matthew DeCipio, an application for variance from Plymouth Township Zoning Ordinance number 342 as amended, Article 19, Section 1909.e, to allow a fence to be installed in a front yard setback, a property at 814 Belvoir Road in the B Residential Zoning District. Mr. DeCipio here, please come up and be sworn in. Yes. Yes. Paul will swear you in.
Matthew DeCipio. DESIPIO. I do.
Thank you. Mr. DeCipio, please tell us what you're trying to do.
Yes, so thank you everybody for meeting this evening and considering my request. So I did submit an application with some drawings of the property. Our property is near a corner of two roads, so it's a bit of an, you'll see it's an irregular lot shape, as it's described. So we don't really have a backyard as equivalent to our neighbors, you could say, because of the weird shape of our lot. Our house is very tucked into the back. So we do have a nice side yard, equivalent to that of our neighbor's total yard. So we just want to close in that side yard, but this side yard is within that front yard setback. So we just want to fence that property in to use.
Do we have any questions from the board? Mr. Frangiosa?
I appreciate that you'd like to close it in. Are there additional reasons as why you would like to close that area in?
Yes, we've actually been waiting to take in a dog for a while now, just to have a nice yard for that dog to grow up. And we do plan on having children, and it'd be nice to have a nice large space for our family to have events and such like that. We do like to entertain our family.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
No questions. Okay. Mr. Clerk?
Just two questions. We say there's a picture of an existing fence.
Yes, our neighbor currently has a fence within the front yard setback.
So that's not what you do.
No, we just want to,
Attention to it?
yeah, we just be connecting, just like their fence is now, just running that fence down the road. A different style of fence, but our fence would be a 4-foot fence, their fence is a 6-foot fence.
So you already have an existing fence,
Oh, no.
the sides and the back?
Yes, we do, yes. We did submit a permit, and that's when this whole thing came up, but we did want to get some work started.
And when you say you're 24 inches off, is that the sidewalk?
Oh, no, this would be 10 feet from the street. I'm sorry if I wrote something poorly. But the fence would be 10 feet from the road. Oh, yes, there's a section of it that would be 24 foot to the front of the house, I imagine.
So do you know how much that is off the sidewalk?
Yes, it would still be 10 feet from the street. We don't have a sidewalk,
Okay.
so it's just Belvoir Road, and then it would be our fence line.
And it won't affect obstruction of drivers or on these roads?
Not that I could see. It's a very long, straight stretch of road, so I can't imagine.
Okay, thank you. No more questions.
Thank you.
You're not a corner property as such, right?
No.
You're going to run it along the front, that's pretty much why you're...
Correct, yeah, that corner property's next to us, and
Right.
they have that fence now.
Right, okay. Yeah, it looks okay to me. You're basically going to be, you're not running it across your driveway, you're going to start around the driveway. And
Correct, yeah. Just, it would cover the house, but it would stop at the driveway.
right, okay. And are your neighbors okay with this? Have you heard any?
We talk casually to our neighbors. I haven't gotten statements from them. I didn't want to make it official, but
Okay,
no.
but they haven't
No.
stated any objections, okay. I have no further questions. Mr. Sander?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here. When you said it's near the corner of two streets,
Yeah.
obviously that's Belvoir. What's the other road?
Yeah, of course. Was it? I think it's Plymouth Road? Is that what goes behind us?
Set off pretty far.
Yeah, it's like,
Road.
yeah, it's a very sharp, like acute angle.
Right.
Park
That must be-
Drive, I think, is...
Is it near the golf course?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're near that corner, and it's irregular in that I'm just trying to turn to the proper photo here. It's irregular in that it's narrow, and your house basically takes up any backyard you would have. So any yard that you do have is all side yard.
Correct. Yeah, we only have like 8 feet behind our house
Okay.
at its smallest point. It is a very weird angle, so.
Okay. And the fence it will be wood?
Yes, pressure treated wood, yes.
It said scalloped wood, I think?
Yes, scalloped wood, yep. A 4-foot version of we currently have a 6-foot scalloped installed, and I did take a photo of that in the application. It would just be a 4-foot version of that same fence.
Okay. And the neighbors, it's going to come up to the neighbor's fence or close to it?
Close to it, yes.
And that's a 6-foot fence?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to get the distances right for the purposes of drafting the decision.
Absolutely.
It looks like new fence will be 10 feet from Belvoir Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 10 feet in
10 feet.
toward your property.
Correct.
From Belvoir. So, right. So what is the 24-foot distance? Is that from the front of the fence to your house?
Yeah, and I apologize for not having these numbers in my head, but it makes sense, yes, that figure would be 20, because our house is 35 from there. That's it, yes. 24 feet connecting from our house to the fence.
Okay.
Because our house is 34, 35 feet from the street.
And then it's going to go way out there, 133 feet, then,
Yeah, then it will connect to the existing fence we have now. So that's probably,
Oh,
again,
okay.
close to 20 feet. or
so
a little
you're
less.
just you're just adding these sort of this L-shaped
Yes, sir.
thing. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay. 133 feet, approximately 100 in front. 24 feet on, okay. Okay, and there's no problem with visibility? You're not blocking any sight lines for roads or intersections?
Correct, yeah. As previously hinted at, I don't necessarily know exactly what that definition would be, but it is a very straight road. There's no turns near our property or anything like that, so it
Okay.
would be very easy to, it's not going to block any turns or anything.
Okay, thank you.
Usually where we have concerns in case like this is where it's at a real corner property. So there
yes.
might be an issue, you know, if you're seeing oncoming,
I can
you're
under-
seeing oncoming traffic or anyone else is seeing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're sufficiently off Plymouth Road.
Yes.
This doesn't seem to be an issue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No further question.
Okay. Are there any, excuse me, is there any public comment, anyone for this proposal or in opposition? Seeing none, can we make a motion on this?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the request as submitted.
Okay, in conformance with the testimony and exhibits offered at the meeting tonight? Okay, very thank you. Second? Take a vote, Mr. Franjosa? In favor. Mr. Higgins? In favor. And the chair votes in favor, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your detailed, your submission. It was good to have that level of specificity. Okay. Has Mr. Vogt arrived? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
I apologize.
That's okay.
Yes.
Pronounce your name Vogt or Vogt?
Just like you go to the.
Vogt, okay. Well, please come up.
That's the right way to say it.
Okay. Please come up and be sworn in, Mr. Vogt.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand, please, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you give this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I'm sorry to make you say, I can't hear.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Before we begin, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask if, I know there are some folks here who are neighbors. I just want to let you know there is an opportunity legally to become a party to this matter. I'm actually talking to the audience. You're already a party, Mr. Vogt. There's an opportunity to become a party to this, and that means that you can call your own witnesses, you can cross-examine Mr. Vogt, and you can appeal a decision with which you don't agree. But you do not need to become a party just to make public comment to the zoning hearing board. You will get a chance to speak, but after the testimony from Mr. Vogt is done. With that said, does anybody wish to become a party to this matter?
Just me?
Okay. We'll proceed accordingly, and obviously we'll have public comment for anybody to
That's fine.
ask questions or make comments.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vogt, why don't you tell the zoning hearing board what it is you want to do?
I just wanted to put up a 12 by 24 foot shed. My neighbors already have 2 sheds, and one of them is about 12 by 24. The other one's probably 12 by 12. I just need something bigger because I have a Kubota tractor that I wanted to keep out of the weather. I don't know what to tell you. I just needed something a little bigger to keep my equipment in. little less than 2 acres there, and I can't see why I should be restricted to a 12 by 12 shed. If there's any objections, let them be heard.
Okay, we'll see if there are any questions from the board. Thank you for that, Mr. Franjosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is this for keeping your lawn, or is this for?
I have a small Kubota tractor
Right,
that I'd like to keep out of the weather.
right. And what's the purpose of the tractor? Is it a business, or is it to?
Oh, no, absolutely. Everything's for personal use, no business whatsoever.
Thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Higgins?
Yeah, how far is the shed from your property? Looks like it's 12 feet.
I can make it whatever's convenient if the neighbors, if somebody, the drawing says 12 foot. Right, 12 foot from the property line. That's where it seemed good to me. Approximately.
Thanks, Mr. Higgins. Mr. Aprilli?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vogt, it looks like you're 34 off the side and 12 feet off the back, according to your drawing. And 12 by 24, it doesn't meet township code, that's why.
I'm sorry. My hearing is very bad.
Please approach, that's fine.
Sure. Yeah, you had asked, you don't understand why you have to be here. You don't meet the code, that's why you're here. Just so you understand.
Thank you.
The only question I have is, do you have any utilities in this building?
Excuse me?
Utilities, water, electric? Just going to be a shed?
A shed.
Okay.
Is that no utilities, Mr. Vogt? No utilities?
Now, that being said, I would probably like to run electric out there just for convenience sake. But other than that,
So you have electric, but there'd be no occupancy?
oh, no, absolutely not. No occupancy. No, it's a shed for my, I understand you have to ask these questions.
That's all. No more questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aprilli. Mr. Vogt, what's the reason why you want to have it 24 wide instead of 12?
Excuse me?
What's the reason you want to have it 24 feet wide instead of 12 feet wide?
Because I have to get, my tractor is 16 feet long, at least. And with the bucket, it's not a big tractor, but it's got a bucket and a excavator on the back, and it's like 16 feet long. And then
Mainly for cutting your lawn and...
cutting
and
my
the other
lawn,
work.
and I'm building a garden in the back and everything like that. So
Okay, yeah, you have a sizable property, I've noticed. You seem to have a sizable property.
it's
I've been out and looked at
1.8
it.
acres,
Right.
give or take.
Yeah. And will this shed be the standard 12 feet high?
I don't know what the height restrictions are. If, I don't want to get into that again, but if 12 feet high is the height restriction, I'll keep it
Yeah,
to 12 feet.
12 feet is a standard, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay. I have no further questions. Mr. Sander?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vogt, I have the dimensions and I have the location of your shed. Going to the use, you're going to store your tractor in there, and would you agree to limit the use of the shed to storing that tractor and other personal property of yours?
Sure.
Okay. As I think we've covered, no commercial use?
I'm too old to be commercial.
Okay. And no residential use? No residential use? No one's going to live in there?
Absolutely not.
You're not going to rent it out?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sander. Any questions, Mr. Rowe? Okay, thank you. Forgive me, I didn't ask you in the earlier case. Okay, yeah. Is there any public comment? Anyone? Okay, please come forward and be sworn in.
Do I go over here? or-
Yeah, you can go, yeah, I mean, you can just.
I can go back?
You can vacate the
Thank you.
table, yeah, if you want to.
I didn't catch your name, I apologize.
Denise Britt, B-R-I-T-T. I did bring pictures too. I was going to talk about them.
Sure.
I'm sorry I didn't make enough copies. I didn't know how many
You can-
to make.
Send them down that way. Yeah, I want the zoning hearing board to see them.
I'm actually speaking for my mother who lives at 106 Sparango Lane.
Sparango.
Yes, Sparango. And the reason this appeared on the counter and we didn't realize, we put the numbers together and we were just surprised we didn't know that this was going to go up, the 12 by 24 shed. So our home is adjacent to Mr. Vogt's property. Our backyard is his side yard and backyard, about.
Ms. Britt, it might help if you could come up to the podium here.
Yeah.
And just for the zoning hearing board's edification, I want the zoning hearing board to see on the plan where the property that you're talking about now is located in reference to the proposed shed.
Okay, so this is Township Farm Road. We are right over here. Yeah, we're right here.
Okay. It looks like Mr. Vogt's property is a flag lot with a driveway that comes up here and then opens up into his property. Is that accurate that you would live in the?
We are right about here.
Okay. So you're immediately adjacent to the area
Yes.
that the proposed shed is to be located?
Yes, and I have pictures of, from our family room, the office, the side, we have more of a side yard, a little bit over an acre. And so our backyard is about 20 yards to his property, and then it's another 20 yards to his house, maybe. And then our side yard is much larger. But our visual from the back of our house is not quite, as you can see, like the existing upkeep of the property is already, it causes visual concerns. So we're thinking introducing a structure of a 12 by 24, which is not necessarily just a small shed. It's like a little garage. It's going to cause an eyesore. Also, we're looking at the value of the home, too, for selling. My mother is living there now. I'm living there with her. And, the idea is it will be sold at some point. And having another garage right in our backyard might cause some concerns, too. And the other idea is, too, it's just the potential proximity could cause, ability to enjoy the yard. So that those were our concerns. We weren't sure, and it does look like it's going to be right in our eyesight.
Sheds typically are in people's eyesight. I mean, if they're in sightlines, if they're well constructed, I mean, new, it doesn't seem to me that would be an issue unless it's like right on top of your property.
Right.
A lot of my neighbors have, one of my neighbors has multiple sheds, and I certainly don't consider them eyesores.
Yeah, and we don't, there are no sheds in our neighborhood, really, which is, we wouldn't want a whole bunch of 12 by 24 sheds to go up when this is the new protocol that, you can have a 12 by 24 shed go up.
Yeah, there are sheds, in my neighborhood there are sheds, and I'd say probably about 60% of the yards at least, and none of them I would consider an eyesore.
Right.
As long as they're on the people's property and they're not janky looking.
Right, well, and we already are dealing with like an unkempt property already that we're looking at, and then this would be in addition to,
Right.
a garage in the backyard. And again, we were just surprised because we weren't told, nobody said
Right, no
anything,
one asked.
and we're right behind them. So then we're like, wait a minute, this could be something. That was our concern.
What kind of shed are you looking to put up, Mr. Vogt? Will it be a new style shed?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
I was going to imitate the house with the shed. I know you don't know what my house looks like, but I was going to try to imitate the house with the shed. I'm 70-some years old now. I don't try to build stuff ugly. It would be presentable. And
Have you already purchased a shed?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm gonna build it myself. I build stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do. I built the house that we're living in now, there at 206 Township Line Road. I physically built that house with these hands, with nobody else's, or very little help.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
how long have you lived in your house?
Excuse me?
How long have you lived in your house?
We've been taking care of my father-in-law since 2006, 2007.
When were the Sprango houses built? When were Sprango houses built?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
When were Sprango houses built? You know?
They were built in late, early 80s,
Yeah, it was early 80s.
early 80s, I would say. Yeah, that property, the property in front of the house that we live in, was built in the 1950s. That's my wife's grandfather's house, and now the Chicos own it. But when,
One other question. On your map you put, it says 34 feet to the property line, right?
yes,
And that's,
yeah, give or take, yeah.
this is
This is
This
the
is where
front,
she-
no, this is, I believe,
That's where you
I
identify where your
believe
property is.
she's, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she's talking about this property, not this property. This is the Chico's property. If you don't mind,
I'm trying to find out.
this would be your property.
This is ours here.
This is your property, this is the Chico's property.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay, yeah, okay.
Right, so this is your property in the back.
So this is your garage, this is the house,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna put it here. So it's gonna be right in front of our backyard then?
Yes, and
All right, hold on, you guys, hold on, Mr. Vogt. You guys can't do this because we're trying to get a record, and our stenographers, let's just hold it and let the zoning hearing board ask the questions and respond.
house is here, and part
I got it.
Part of the reason,
I got it.
part of the reasoning is,
It's right in the backyard.
Um,
It's right in the backyard. Yeah, that's right in our backyard then.
So it seems that the shed would be about 94 feet away from your property. No, wait, not from your property, but from the house?
Yeah, you stated, Ms. Britt, that you were your house is located about 20 yards to the property line.
Yes.
At 60 feet, and then another 34 feet setback for the shed is 94 feet from your house.
I'm not good with the yardage. It's probably maybe 10 yards to the property line. I'm looking now, like from the porch that we have, 10 yards. And I believe that is where he's going to put it then. So it'll literally be, as we sit in our back porch, right in front of us.
Is the proposed shed beyond the tree line? Beyond the tree line here? Is the tree line the property line?
the tree line is about.
Yeah, it's about the property
yes.
line. Could,
Okay.
Would you say that, the tree line?
Mr. Vogt, you can't ask her questions. Sorry. I just want to figure this out for the zoning hearing board's reference. The tree line is around the property line. It looks like there's some depth to it. There's a big tree closer to your house, Ms. Britt, and then there's some lower shrubs and some other trees a little further toward Mr. Vogt's house. The shed, it seems to me that the shed will probably be screened in
In the summertime.
some way, yes.
That is one thing, and we let it grow because, as I said, there's like all this stuff on that property.
And the stuff, do you-
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There's a big fence, I think it's a garden that you have, I'm not sure, like, there's a
Okay.
lot, I have pictures on there,
I'm building a raised bed garden in the back of the house.
Right, I see some construction on the photograph. You have some, what is that, black
You have to keep the deer out of my garden.
plastic, something made out of plastic. Is that temporary?
In the wintertime it can be, but the deer just eat everything, so I'm trying to keep the deers out. And you're not allowed to discharge a firearm.
Well, that's true. The garden, is it complete?
I'm working on it, it's in progress.
Could you show us on this picture which structure the garden is? Is it the black material there, or is it the one behind it?
This would be a better picture. The shed would be up in this area. So,
Mr. Vogt, show us where the garden is.
Garden, where is the garden, which is the garden,
right
if
here
that's
in the back of
visible?
the house. See that?
Okay.
That, it sort of looks like a wall there.
That's,
Putting up a wall to make a raised bed. I like raised
Okay, Mr. Vogt, take a look at the picture below that top picture. Take a look at the bottom picture on this page, and I see the tractor in the background.
Okay.
And tell us what the earth disturbance is, and then what the black
That black,
tarping. Just look at the picture for a second. You s-
the black,
Yes,
my wife has a garden, but this is a coverage to keep the weeds down. I just pulled it up last week. She's replanting the garden.
and then you're going to put that back down. It's a weed mat. Yeah, oh, okay.
It's mulch, keeps the weeds down.
Oh,
And I
okay.
just pulled it up and
But that's not permanent sitting up there. Okay. And how about the earth disturbance behind that? It just shows dirt.
is that dirt is getting ground up and it's going to get planted. That's where my wife wanted to put another garden.
Okay, so you're planting gardens in your backyard, and you're going to clean it up, and
Best we can,
well,
right. I mean, yes.
okay. And the tractor obviously will no longer be outside. That'll be stored in the shed, so nobody will have to look at the tractor sitting out on your property anymore. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. It seems as if there's really it's a reasonable request. So, unless there would be some,
Well, let's ask Ms. Britt if she has anything else to say to the zoning hearing board.
So the shed would be literally in our backyard then?
Well, it's 34 feet from your property line, and then at least another 30 feet, that's 10 yards, from your house. So that's 64 feet from your house.
Excuse me, sir, I thought it was 12 feet. I thought that they were at the parcel where there's a straight line towards the bottom of the page.
I believe they are the parcel where the 34 feet, Mr. Frangioso, see where it says the 34 feet distance? They're the parcel on the other side of that property line that measures 162.73 feet.
Based on the photos from the yard and how they're approaching the side of the house, I thought it was the other side where it states 12 feet. I could be mistaken.
Okay, Ms. Britt, can you show us again? Come on up here. I'll give you two choices, and you can tell me which one is your house.
Okay. Mom, do you want to?
Yes, by all means, please.
So this is Google.
Oh,
Is that the house there?
Yes, this is our.
Then that would be the 12 foot. The side where the shed would be 12 feet from.
Okay, so it'll be right here. See, so this right here is our property, the property line.
Okay, let's look on this drawing. Here's Mr. Bode's house. Here's the proposed shed. Are you here or are you here?
This is
This is
the driveway.
the driveway. Where? Right here?
How come you put the shed back here?
Yeah.
Okay, you're here. So, Mr. Frangioso is right. You're only 12 feet from that's only 12 feet from the property.
So that, yeah, and that's literally.
And that's what we look at.
Okay. All right.
12 feet plus 30.
12 feet plus 30, plus at least 30.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for that clarification.
Yes.
I greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it. I did want to ask, is it possible for the shed to be moved behind or towards the garage so that it is behind the house and behind the property, if looking from the street?
I understand what you're saying, but I have to, if I do that, then I have to drive over a septic system. There's a septic system in the back of the house, and I don't want to drive over it.
Of course not. Could you place it further back then so that you wouldn't drive over a septic system?
The septic system is like in back of the house. and
Right.
I couldn't,
But you have the space from the back of the house to the back of your property. There has to be some space there where the septic system is
I
not.
mean, I have maybe thinking to myself, 20 or 20 feet to get past the septic tanks to the leach field. It's very difficult. I could probably give you an idea where it was on the drawing. That's why I wanted to stay away from driving into the back of the house. Because of the septic system leach field.
When you say that the septic system is 20 feet, how long is your leach field?
No. The septic system runs, the leach field is about 60 feet by 100 feet wide at the back of the house, and it runs directly out of the center. I should say the first third of the house was where the lines go, and then I have the tanks, the septic tanks, and they run off in a southerly pattern towards the corner, that back corner of the house, of the property.
Would you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I really don't want to drive over that area. It's all the septic system.
So I have a question, Mr. Boyd. Can this shed be turned so the 12-foot section?
Where the septic system is?
No, no.
Septic's here, right?
Yeah,
This is
this-
the septic?
yeah.
So can this just go here? So now they don't have to see 24-foot, they can see a 12-foot wall, and it will be moved up closer to your house. So you
Yeah.
don't have to drive in your backyard.
Right. Move it laterally from where,
See, that's, now I gotta talk to my father-in-law. I don't know if he's convinced of this. But, let me driveway's right there.
So you're putting it out there to block the cars.
More or less, yeah,
Like a berm,
more or less.
and then they get to look at your shed.
Right, they get to look at the back of my shed instead of the house.
Do you think we could find a meeting of the minds?
It's a fine line, it's a very fine line.
I think that's a good point, Mr. Aprile. Yeah, can we find a meeting of the minds, sort of a, a median that accommodates both parties?
Right now, I believe that I could build a 24 by 24 foot garage with a driveway to it with no issues. So I'll just do that.
You have an
Yes.
existing garage, right?
Yeah.
I have an existing garage, sure, I got a 3-car garage, but I could build an outbuilding, 24 by 24, and just make a driveway to it, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. You can have a detached garage on your property.
Detached,
Correct.
24 by 24s.
Correct. Actually, this is AA residential, so it would be 32 by 24, max size.
Okay. What makes it a detached garage versus a shed?
It needs to have a driveway leading up to it.
This would be in addition to the existing garage or a replacement? Would this be in addition to the existing garage or a replacement for it?
No, this would be another garage, just an outbuilding.
Okay.
Ms. Britt, you understand what he could build out there?
Yes,
If
sorry.
he makes it a detached garage, it can be 36 by 24, not 12 by 24.
32.
I'm sorry, 32 by 24, not 12 by 24. And
Is there a reason why we can't stick with the 12 by 12 standard, or?
well, because his testimony was, and this is what he presented to the zoning hearing board, is that he has a tractor that he is at least 16 feet long, and that he wants to park indoors, so you don't have to look at it sitting on his property,
Right.
and to keep it out of the weather. It's a legitimate reason, it sounds like, but we're trying to work with him, I think, on maybe moving the shed in a little bit and maybe turning it sideways, so that you only look at a 12-foot, the end portion of it, not the long portion.
Right.
Mr. Vogt, is that possible? And we're asking you, because the board is not going to the board has the right to put a condition on a grant of approval or deny the application flat out. So if it puts a condition on it that says that you have to turn it sideways and have the 12-foot portion parallel to Ms. Britt's property, and the 24-foot portion parallel to the front property line, you either agree or disagree with that?
I would disagree with that,
Okay. I think maybe the zoning hearing board wants to know why.
because
Turning it. You're turning it. You're not relocating it, you're turning it.
I understand that. As I said before, the driveway, their driveway is right there. So that's the longer end, not the narrow end.
But you live next to their driveway. You live next to their driveway. You live there. You've lived there since 2007, whatever it is. Cars come up driveways, and then they either go into a garage or they get turned off and like.
Sheds get put on properties.
But we're not. I think the question is, why won't you turn it?
Yeah.
And you're saying because you want it to block headlights that have been there since 2007, will be there forever.
How much traffic can there be up and down a residential driveway? How much traffic can there be up and down a residential driveway?
It's really,
It's one car.
something. If my wife was here, I asked her to be here, she would have a little bit more input in it. We got all sorts of trees across the pine trees, which are the other neighbors' pine trees, which would be, I'd have to put the shed almost underneath these trees, and it's the pine trees, and it just grows.
Well, another option to help the Brits is for you to landscape with evergreens, or I guess, what do you call those? Arborvitae. The area from your property line that would block their view of the shed. That's an option.
There is an option there, yes.
Would you be agreeable to a condition that says that you have to plant mature arborvitae?
That being said, may I, if I rescind this variance, can I just put a permit in to build an out?
We can't make a comment about whether you can or can't. The zoning officer has indicated that a detached garage with a driveway leading up to it is permitted without the need of zoning relief. Whether you withdraw this application at this point is your choice alone. So we'll wait to hear from you on that. But meanwhile, the board is considering your application, and I don't know what the board's pleasure is at this point.
I'd rather leave it as it sits right now, and if the board considers it the way it sits, that's fine. And if it gets denied, I can always just reapply for a.
Okay, understood, okay. So you're not willing to turn it, and you're not going to plant anything to,
I'm not adverse to making plantings, and this all takes time, and I can't promise, immediate.
well, it would have to be, at the same time that the shed is being constructed, you're going to plant your trees to hide it.
Well, okay.
All right, well, that's just, again, board hasn't deliberated or voted or anything. Ms. Britt, unfortunately, we could swear your mom in if she wants to testify. Why don't we swear in Ms. Britt's mother and get her name and address? We know her address.
State your full name and spell, please.
Maureen, M-A-U-R-E-E-N-W, Britt, B-R-I-T-T.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I did.
I'll call you Maureen to not confuse you with Denise. Maureen, what's your response to what you've heard?
I don't know why you can't put it on the other side, or, because there are trees on the other side on his property, trees in the back, and, either of those places could be,
Well, he's testified that this whole back area back here is taken up by either septic tanks or a leach field for a septic system. So he doesn't want to drive his tractor over the septic system to get to the shed. He said all of this area is septic system.
how about putting it here?
Well, that's his front yard. In front of your house, Mr. Vogt, he's not going to move it. You're making suggestions, but he's not going to move. He's going to rely on the application as it's been submitted, and other than considering plantings, he's not going to move the proposed location of the shed.
His father-in-law always kept the place beautiful,
Okay.
and we had a nice view, like at the kitchen window or sitting out back. But if this is going to block everything,
Well, it's 12 by 24. Okay, I hear you. Anything else you want to let us know?
it's just that
It's unfinished projects.
spoken to us or anything about it.
There-
We were surprised to receive the
notice. Would the plantings be okay? I mean, they would obscure your sight line, but at least they would be you know, they wouldn't have to be looking at the shed.
Right, it's a little bit better, but, yeah, I mean, that's
Well,
the
we-
thing.
we
I
can-
mean, the property value of our homes, that it's a lot. And
Well,
Sure.
this definitely would, yeah, it definitely takes away from it. Like, you know, someone pulls up and says, what is that, you know?
well, if the board could require mature arborvitae to be planted at a height of, you know, we can discuss that, but,
That would help.
so it would add a natural screen to your view.
Yeah,
And then you probably wouldn't, maybe not see his house even.
yeah,
I mean, that may be more attractive to a potential buyer.
right.
Okay.
If the driveway is, there's one car there, and
Yeah, it's mine. I'm a teacher.
at 7:30 in the morning, starts running over 67. You know, so that's all.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I guess the evidence is complete. We know where Mr. Vogt stands. We know the Brits issues.
We propose to have the board do a brief executive session out of this room. So we'll leave and reconvene very shortly.
Yep.
Okay, thank you for your patience.
We're back on the record.
Yeah. Mr. Sander is framing a motion. that
Thank you,
we
Mr.
put before
Chairman.
the board.
If the board is of a mind, it would require a member to make a motion and have it seconded to grant the application for a 12-foot by 24-foot shed conditioned on compliance with the evidence and testimony presented to the zoning hearing board, conditioned on the applicant obtaining all appropriate permits and approvals required for the shed, and also conditioned on the applicant planting prior to applying for a permit for the shed, 6-foot-high arborvitae to block the view of the Brits from the proposed area of the shed to the satisfaction of the zoning officer.
Do we have a motion for that?
Now, we, that,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Or do we have a motion?
Second the motion.
Okay.
Isn't that the motion?
that was, I framed the motion, you just need a, no, you need it, you guys need to make it. Someone needs to make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
That-
Second. Mr. Frangiosa, thank you. Let's have a roll call vote. Mr. Frangiosa? In favor. Mr. Higgins?
In favor.
Mr. Aprile?
In favor.
And the chair votes in favor.
Thank you. I think that concludes our business, Mr.
does.
Chairman.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.